What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast. I am one half of your host at Scotty Drown. The other half you see to the right of me, Slimothy Jones. He's got up on the screen. He goes by a couple different aliases, but you can find him on X at RTR30111. Want to first of all say appreciate everybody out there that's going to be viewing this episode. We appreciate all of you. Be sure to tap into the YouTube channel, NBA to the Galaxy Pod. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you're notified each and every time we go live. Anytime we're putting out content, you'll be alerted. That's the goal here, is to grow on the YouTube channel. Along with that being said, go ahead, comment on the YouTube channel. You can comment on Twitter. If the comments pop up, we will pull them up on the screen here and get you guys involved in the show. All that being said, my man Slim, we're going to get into this All-Star weekend. There was a lot of talking over the weekend, aside from the actual All-Star weekend. I mean, everybody's sharing their opinion. I think that's the other side of getting to watch these guys during the All-Star break is all of the interviews and the time that they get to express themselves. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into ways. I guess the first question is, do you think there's something wrong with the All-Star weekend? The next question is, how do you fix it? I know we've discussed that on this show before, but we can just get into that a little bit more. My man, how you feeling on this fine Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Had Monday off. I'm thrown off a little bit here, but yeah, happy Tuesday, my man.
Yes, sir. Doing good. And you birthed me this name, Slimothy Jones, so it's only right that I keep it going. So
I love it.
Nonetheless, man, I'm doing good. And like you said, man, a lot of talking over this past weekend. So, yeah, man, it's always good to link up and do this again. So, hey, man, truly blessed.
Yeah, exactly. Blessed to hop on this pod with you each and every time. What's good, D-Rab? Thank you for tapping in.
What's good, man?
Lakers got a big second half of the year coming up. The Warriors, your Warriors, got a big second half of the season coming up. Some big acquisitions that got to make their way onto these teams. So that's exciting. H1 Rack.
Yeah, that's good. That's one of my homies. I know him.
That's your man's. Well, thank you for tapping in. We appreciate any and all comments. Let us know what you think of the NBA All-Star weekend. Thoughts on how the entire weekend went. We can start at where do you want to start, Slim? I'll throw it to you, actually. Where do you want to start with this All-Star weekend and what transpired?
We can kick this thing off. We really don't have to dive into the celebrity game. That's kind of
outside our scope.
Yeah, it speaks for itself. So even the Rising Stars game, I don't just see anything to just discuss really unless you have anything. So
no. I feel like with the way they did, like the OGs and the young stars or the rising stars with the actual All-Star weekend, it kind of disrupted some of the other events in a sense where you would focus on the younger guys. So, I guess we could just start with Saturday's events, right?
Saturday,
let me ask you this first of all. Let's start with the skills challenge. CP3 and Wemby. What was up with that? Like, how did you feel about them trying to kind of rig the system in a sense?
Man, what's crazy is that, bro, I thought it was Chris Paul's idea. Initially in my head, when I seen it happen, I was like, that's all CP.
That's such a Chris Paul move. Yeah.
Yes, that he does that type of stuff. But come to find out, it was all Wemby. It was all Wemby idea. He came up with it or whatever.
Interesting.
Draymond talked about it during the post-game interview or whatever. And he said that Wemby pretty much asked a lot of people, could they do it? And they gave him a thumbs up. But come to find out that, he really couldn't do it. So my thoughts on that is that he probably should at least shot it, not just, throw it up that fast. Maybe if he would have quick shot it, it would have been better. But he just, him and CP just threw it up there. It was actually funny, though. So
it was
the fact
funny.
They got disqualified was even more funnier. So
you know what it was to me, Slim? You know what it was? It was like the epitome of the NBA. And like,
oh, wow.
How I feel about players and trying to find the shortcuts through the regular season. You got guys sitting out of games, not playing back-to-backs. It was the epitome of the
Sounds right.
NBA during the regular season, man. Just trying to rig the system, trying to find any way to skate by until you can get to the postseason.
Yeah.
That's what I did think. Because honestly, I'm not trying to get too sentimental here, but what are you teaching like young kids? And I know the All-Star Weekend isn't truly about that. Like, it's not about necessarily passing the game on, right, or playing the game the right way, giving effort, like, integrity.
Yeah.
But like, if you're a little kid and you see CP3 and Wemby and like the face of the NBA trying to take a shortcut, wouldn't you maybe try to take a shortcut too, like in your class or at practice or whatever the case may be? So I'm not trying to be too sentimental, but the basketball integrity inside of me, it did rub me the wrong way in a sense, because it's just like, man, it's a skills challenge. Like, you can just shoot the shots. It's not the end of the world. Like, if you don't win, ultimately, it's for entertainment. It's for us to see you actually shoot the basketball. But overall, it was funny. And it's even funnier that it is Wemby's idea compared to CP3. I think that would have been much worse.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Is he like picking up like these tendencies from CP3? Is that what's happening here? Yeah, I do wonder. Were you surprised the Cavs were able to come away with that one?
To be honest, no. To see my guys out there, Draymond, see my guy Moody out there and Draymond, it was interesting. That was the most awkward. I did not expect to see them out there. I'm not gonna lie. That was kind of awkward for me, but no surprise that D mentioned Mobley won. So
yeah, very well-rounded players. You would say, right? Athletic as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say it was too surprising either. Something that's never happened before, whether we like it or not, in NBA history.
It is
a triple-time slam dunk contest champion, 3 times in a row, to be specific here. Mac McClung goes out, has basically a perfect slam dunk contest by the scores.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, man? Like, I guess one thing is like, why doesn't Mac McClung get like a chance on any like on a bum ass team like the Brooklyn Nets, right? Like, he can't get some run on the Nets or something, like on the Hornets, like some team out there that's just tanking, whatever the case may be. You put him out there on the court for fun, right? For highlights. But when's the dunk contest again? Where are you at? Where are you at with Mac McClung right now, bro?
First off, any Brooklyn Nets fans, any Charlotte Hornets fans, I want to apologize for my co-host Scotty here for his comments on your team. He didn't really mean he got caught up in the moment or whatever. But for Matt McClung, man, I will say this.
My bad.
He man, that guy there, like the dunks he was able to pull off of me. Talking about jumping over a car. We haven't seen this since Blake Griffin. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
He jumped over Mobley. He was like in midair for a nice moment. Like, it was just crazy. But I will say this, like with Mac, he probably saved the dunk contest, for being honest. You seen what John Morant said on Twitter after the dunk contest. He said he might have to do it. Then you seen Giannis say he'll do it with him. Then you seen Zach LaVine chime in, so he probably saved the dunk contest, we've been honest here. So yeah, I'm all for it. And shout out to Mac, man. He just made the best of the opportunity that was presented to him. Like you said, it sucks that he doesn't really get any real burn in the league, but like I said, he made the most of the opportunity. But I will say this, man, it's like it's so many athletes in this league, bro, and it sucks that we don't get to see them, show off their skills in All-Star Weekend. Like, Shaden Sharp, Cam Whitmore, even my guy Kuminga. Like, all these guys got crazy hops, but they don't, participate in the dunk contest for some reason. But I just feel like the guys that paved the way before them deserve to see better, like Kareem. These guys are up in age, and they definitely deserve to see better for sure. But man, shout out to Mac, because he probably did say the dunk contest, because like I said, Josh said that he might participate in it. So
I just wonder if they're like gaslighting us, because we've heard some of these rumors before about players joining the dunk contest. Like, they need to, and that's what needs to happen at this point. You could have an NBA lineup challenge Mac McClung in the dunk contest to see if somebody could knock him off at this point. You mentioned plenty of guys that have bounce. And I think that is what it's going to take. It's going to take a little bit of name value along with the ability to do some crazy dunks out there as well in order to take Mac McClung down. But yeah, my bad. I know there's a ton of talent in the NBA. There's plenty of reason why Mac McClung isn't getting run. I imagine it's on the defensive side of things as to why he's not getting burned in the NBA. But continue to do his thing, make his name in the dunk contest. What he's more famous than me, so what can I say about him? Shout out to Mac McClung, man. Hopefully we see some bigger names in it, similar to what we see in the 3-point contest. It's become semi-popular. You get some of the bigger names in it. Tyler Hero takes the crown this year. What were your thoughts there? Your man Buddy Hield gets to he got to the last round, right?
Yeah, he did.
Taking on Hero. Hero takes him down, but where were you at with the 3-point contest? Who did your man Buddy Hield? Was he the most impressive to you over the weekend, or where were you at?
Not really. I mean, I know Buddy is a shooter. Like, look, he has been struggling with us, but I know Buddy's a shooter, so I'm not really surprised. Yeah. Even the last three, Tyler Hero, Darius Garland, and Buddy, no surprise there. I mean, those guys are pretty good shooters. But man, we were so close to bringing it home. So close. Buddy messed up, man. He didn't make no shots on his first rack.
Yeah.
Maybe his first 2 racks, if I'm not mistaken. But for sure his first racks. But he made up for it. But those are the type of things that come back and hunt you. So yeah, it sucks that Buddy wasn't able to bring him back. No surprise that Tyler Hero won. He's gonna have one heck of a season. So Damian Lillard, he probably shocked me the most. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he would have been better.
Yeah.
Sure. But I had a text one of my homies that said he probably just ready to go back to the hotel with Glorilla. If you know, you know.
You funny, boy. But you're not lying. We definitely seen better from Dame in the 3-point contest in the past, so it was a little surprising. To your point, though, Tyler Hero, I think pure shooters in the NBA, it makes sense. It makes sense. He's a guy that's proven that he can shoot the ball efficiently, especially this season. Kind of been his. I don't want to call it a coming out party, but definitely one of his better seasons of his career this year so far.
Did anybody disappoint you in the 3-point contest?
Aside from Dame.
By the way, Dame has officially retired from the 3-point contest, ladies and gentlemen. So
did he? Did he announce that?
Yeah, he announced it. Yep.
I did not know that. No, I think Dame takes the cake, honestly, out of everybody that was in that contest. Yeah. I don't know. I guess
Norman Powell.
I guess you would like to see Norman Powell make more of a name for himself, right? And that's one of the ways you can do that.
I mean, he was definitely better than that year Paul George was in it. So I mean, that's pretty good, Mr. Addition by subtraction.
That's his his head-to-head competition at this point in Paul George's career. Can he be better than Norman Powell? Came up clutch for the OGs. Yeah, Dame did have a game for the OGs in the actual All-Star game.
It's Dame time, baby.
But your man Steph ended up taking the MVP reins in the hometown hero there. But let's talk about it, man. You had the 4 teams step into this tournament type setting on Sunday.
Yeah.
You had Team Kenny versus Team Chuck, and then you had Team Candace versus Team Shaq to start out. First of all, I do want to just get your opinion on the teams, the structure. What are your thoughts there on the total setup?
I actually like the format. They're basically trying their best to try to make things more competitive, and I'm all for it. I mean, the Rising Stars, they was in this matchup, and if you watch the game, you can tell that things are starting to get competitive because the Rising Stars were looking to up one the OGs. They was looking to get out there and get the win.
Yeah.
So, but as you can see, the OGs they started to lock in a little bit. I mean, they even said it themselves in the post game interview. But yeah, I'm all for anything that's going to make the All-Star game more competitive. You know, if you go back to the early thousands, man, there was without a doubt the All-Star game was competitive. You know, KG, Kobe, all those guys, they were locked in. They wanted to win. And I think that with this format, it may bring the competition up a little bit more. So yeah, but then also like I like how it is kind of balanced in a sense. Like you got you know Shaq the OG, you got the Rising Stars, and Team Chuck, that tall ass team over there with Wimby, Cat, and Jokic. Like it's wild. And yeah, I like this format for sure. But I will say this though, instead of Rising Stars, maybe do like a team of the rejects, like the guys that didn't get a pick. Let's
Yeah,
see how that go.
the
So
Maxies, right? The Tyrese
yeah,
Maxey of the
you
world.
got like Maxi, all those guys that's
Yeah,
deserving, Lamelo, you
yeah, I
know,
do like that. I like that
yeah,
idea a little bit
the
more.
rejects, yeah,
I don't know. I do hear you because I think when you look at the actual matchups, the motivations behind why they're playing as hard as they are playing, um, I do agree. I think it was more competitive.
yeah,
I think there is a side of me also though that just wants to see Team Shaq versus Team Chuck, right? Like just a full game of
yeah.
those level of players going at it at that level. I do wonder, man, like when we look back on the East and West All-Star games that used to happen,
Hmm.
did we just get greedy by trying to change it? Like at least there was a point where we were getting like fire fourth quarters in the All-Star game where the heat turned up, it got competitive. If the score was close, you're going to get a great finish to the All-Star game. And it's almost like we tried to get more than that out of it by, changing all of this up. And now you got more discussion about, there's people that want to change it again from what we saw this year. It is. It's a little confusing. It just in a sense of like direction for the event, for the weekend. And, just the plans. Like there's now talk of maybe a one-on-one tournament
Yep.
where the winner wins, $1 million, which that sounds entertaining for sure. How does that play in parts with the actual All-Star game? If you go through a whole one-on-one tournament, you're gonna be exhausted. Like I don't know about you, but you play one-on-one, that's a lot harder than playing team basketball straight up. And you're gonna keep doing it, right? I don't know. I guess they could do like a King of the Hill type of situation, but it is interesting. I do think this ended up interesting, and you ended up getting Team Shaq versus Team Chuck in the championship round, and you got to see the stars go at it. So it ended up, still getting that result along with the competitiveness of that first round as well. So I do. I see both sides, I guess. Like I
Yeah,
could
I
see
mean, yeah.
wanting for more, like the world versus the USA idea. That seems
Hmm. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you seen what Draymond had to say. He had some valid points. He really did.
Yeah.
But I'll probably disagree more to agree. The reason I say this is because if we're being honest here, Scott, we only in this predicament in the first place because your peers, they take this stuff for granted. Like they don't go out there and compete anymore. They
Yeah.
just let each other jack up a whole bunch of threes. Then guys blow past them, get to the rim.
Yeah.
The guys, like I said, they used to take pride in, locking up in the All-Star game. But I think the last competitive All-Star game we may have had was 2020. And that was a competitive game. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched it, go watch the highlights. That
It's
was a very good
almost
game.
it's almost like you should take the 3-point line away or something. Like I don't know. It's
I would
it's not fair
imagine
to guys like Steph either, like or other guards as well that rely on the 3-point shot. So it is tough to say that.
yeah, yeah,
I
because I
do
mean, when
I did
Steph
agree with
shooting,
with Draymond though, like with some of what he said just about where the league is going and like regular season basketball specifically, right? Because
mhm,
basketball in the playoffs turns up a notch.
yeah,
Guys actually lock in and start playing defense. Like that is the difference. You'll get games throughout the regular season where guys are locked in. It's going to be a great show, a great matchup, right? But then you also get those just complete stinkers where guys just didn't even show up on that night. And, you got a great team getting blown out by 20, 30 points. But I think with the All-Star game, you continue to find ways to motivate guys. You continue to find ways to maybe reward some of the lesser paid players in the NBA that do have talent that can get to this weekend. What'd you think about the championship round though? The Team Shaq versus Team Chuck. What'd you think overall there with the final matchup? Because I'll be honest, I thought Team Chuck was gonna win. I thought that
Come
squad
on.
was pretty stacked. I mean, defensively, it's ideal. You got lengthy, you got height. Didn't work out though. Got spoiled.
Yeah, man. When I seen Jokic guarding Steph, I knew it was over. I mean, Jokic was literally full court pressing Steph. I kid you not. So I was like, well, it's over right now. So
Yeah, you're,
you
you're
know, yeah, like real quickly, like another great point is like with Wemby, like a talent like that, he should play more than what he did.
yeah.
Like,
You need to see him more.
yeah, like people come to the All-Star game to see guys like that.
Yeah,
And even to your point, like with the 3-point line, like with Steph, like him shooting for half court, that's entertaining. Making it, you see the bench go crowd, you see the crowd go crazy. It just like those are little things like that that'll help make things better. So if they can figure it out, like I don't know, but Wemby definitely should have played more Sunday. But to answer your
and
original question, like when I
that's
seen
that's kind of
Jokic,
that's kind of what I was saying though. Of what you're
mhm,
saying about Wemby, that's kind of what I was saying about just having like a full game of Team Chuck versus Team
yeah,
Jack, right?
yeah,
Where you get not
yeah.
40 points, but
Actually,
maybe 120, right?
that's a great way to put it because you can still do the format, but then like the championship game, like you say, you should have a full game. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
They probably should consider doing that, and also they need to take their target score stuff away, man. Just
yeah,
do like 10 to 12 minute quarters, and just go
yeah.
from there.
I agree. What were you gonna say though?
Yeah,
Originally,
like when Jokic guarded Steph, I kind of knew it was over, and Tatum really set the tone though. He came
yeah.
out hot. I think he had like a quick 8 or 11 points.
He tried to steal the show, right?
I mean, hey, they ain't want to guard up. He made them pay. So hey, yeah, it
But
was fun though.
Steph gets rewarded. He ends up with 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists across the tournament. Did you think Steph was deserving? Was that the right decision in your eyes?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people saying he could have made a case for Tatum, which I ain't knocking it, but it's gonna be hard to win that in Steph City. So
Yeah, facts. I mean, Tatum, it was close, I guess,
yeah,
when you
man.
look at like total statistics. But like you said, it's Steph City. He's got to get the nod there, man. Um,
Yeah,
speaking of Draymond Green, though,
pod mine.
my man, I talk about Paul George. My man Draymond, he does not shut his mouth. Like, whatever, though. Express yourself, my man. I want to something I found very interesting. He said that he is lined up that he could be the head coach of the Golden State Warriors after he retires. Like, do you believe that? Like, does he have that type of pool? I guess it makes sense.
Oh, definitely. He
Would
does.
you want that?
Um, It'd probably be best to ask somebody else. I mean, I deal with Draymond. I don't just rock with him like that. You know what I mean? He on my team. I tolerate him. I don't just care for him like that. I ain't got nothing against him,
Could
but
you imagine him in
you
a
know,
coaching position, like opening his mouth all the time?
he would probably get ejected. He would probably be
So true.
expelled for the first half of the season, if I'm being honest. Yeah, but I
You're
could
not
definitely see
lying.
him. Like he definitely got that type of motion in Golden State for sure.
Yeah, and he definitely has that that coaching like aura, right? Like
Yeah,
he
his
he
he
he,
definitely
he gives
he
off coach. He just
yeah his
has to
IQ. I give it to him.
hone it in a little bit, right? Like
Yeah,
you
like
said.
his IQ. He's smart as hell. He know the game. He very intelligent. Yeah, so I get it to him. He knows his shit.
Yeah, no, I do agree. That's why I asked because it's like the volatile personality, basketball IQ, experience, championships, right? Like you got to
Yeah,
balance it all
yeah,
out.
he's smart. He's smart as hell. He know the game.
What about this USA versus international players? What are your thoughts there? Do you think there's any room where that could be the move for All-Star weekend to maybe make it a better experience?
For sure, it will work out perfectly in my opinion. We can travel to international wherever, Paris, France. 1 year, next year, come to the US. So
Yeah.
I feel like it'll work out pretty good for sure. And then
That's
also like with
actually,
the 3-point contest or dunk contest, maybe we can get some of those guys
yeah,
internationally to participate. Team USA, make it like a whole, Team USA versus international
that's interesting.
every
That's
contest.
interesting. We would have to get a lot of cooperation, but it
We
is
would, we
interesting. I think
would.
that's a great
Yeah.
idea. Even just the locations, like you could do 1 year in France, 1 year in London, 1 year in Spain,
Yes.
whatever, right? Like you could travel all around, and that would be a way to kind of expand the game. And you also would get the international players wanting to dog out the USA team. Like that would
Hey
there would
man.
they would be highly motivated, and that international team would be crazy.
Yes, I mean a starting lineup of Jokic, Wemby, Giannis, Embiid, Luca.
Luca.
Oh my God, SGA. Like what?
Yeah, SGA. You got Sengun, right? The young
Yeah,
boys. You got guys like Siakam that can just be a bench
Kyrie,
player.
Kyrie Irving. Like oh my God.
Yeah. Cat is technically, I think he's what, Dominican? Is that what I think
Yeah,
he's
Dominican
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 Republic?
Republic.
He could play on the international team too, but then
Kit
USA,
Kat,
you still
the
got
big
the
brr.
OGs. You got the OGs on the USA side, right? Like Steph,
Hey, we got
Bron,
some. We got some nice young talent too.
Ant,
Tatum, Ant Man. You
yeah,
know,
JB,
so yeah, Jalen Brown. It'll be one heck of a fight.
Brunson.
I think the only thing that they have an advantage is like they got a big ass lineup, bro. Wemby,
Yeah.
Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. Like, come on.
And see, that's the thing. Like, is Embiid gonna play on USA or is he gonna
Oh
play
yeah, true
international?
that.
You
Yeah,
know what I
true.
mean? Because
Yeah.
USA could actually use Embiid on that side when it comes to matchups. But like you said, the international team could definitely put up a pretty good squad. Yeah, you got the Americans. Some of the American players are getting old, but like you mentioned, you got the
We got
Tatums
some
of the
youth.
world.
We got some youth.
Donovan Mitchell's still in his prime,
Yes, yes.
right? Tyrese Maxey could slide in there if you need
We got
somebody.
Brunson, Halliburton.
Jalen Brunson, Dame is still there.
Yeah,
Um,
Halliburton,
Devin Booker.
LaMelo.
You could
Book.
argue that the best players are international, though. Like
You
literally,
could,
like
you could, you could, you could.
Giannis,
You got the
Luca,
biggest cheat code,
Jokic,
Wembyamba.
SGA. Those are who would be your top four players in the world right now? Top
In the
five,
whole
just off the top of your head. Top five players in the world.
Jokic,
That's one international.
shit, Ant Man,
That's USA. Giannis in there.
Giannis. Yeah, Giannis.
That's international. So that's two for international.
I gotta be careful what I say here.
What about Luca?
SGA,
SGA, that's three international. So that's four total.
and I'm gonna say this. I got to. You already know.
Steph.
Yeah.
All right. Fair. So two USAs and three internationals in your top five. I think for me, I don't know. It is tough off the top of my head. Giannis,
It is. You gotta be careful what you say.
Jokic.
Giannis,
I think Giannis, Jokic, SGA are locks.
Giannis, Jokic, SGA. Are we overlooking Luca here? Are we not respecting him? Because
I feel like Luka is top five. I do. I feel like
he
is
for sure there.
five.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's four
That's four.
international. And then I think you can start to look at like Steph, KD, and Tatum, so on and so forth.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie. I think I disrespected KD too.
KD, right? Like we can't forget he's just on that poor Suns team right now, but it's still Kevin Durant.
I may have to replace him with Ant. I ain't gonna
lie. So you'll take Ant out and put KD. That's still American.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm replacing Ant with KD. I can't do that to KD.
I feel that.
Easy money sniper.
I think the fact that we can have this conversation though means it would be pretty interesting because if you have that like MVP-esque lineup on the international side, what would we get out of the USA side to try to prove themselves as well? So
Yeah,
it
I'm
is
not gonna lie
interesting.
though. If they were to ever do that game, I'm definitely going for the first time they ever do this. I'm definitely going to that.
Yeah, we got to make that a like a pod trip.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Depending where that Jones at, like we would have to make that happen because that would be
What
very.
what Quavo said, niggas in Paris.
Hell yeah. We would have to make a clip or something with that song, all of
Yeah, for
that,
sure.
bro. That is funny as shit. Anything else on the All-Star weekend? Thoughts on Braun fully dressed in the team
Brian.
photo?
Hey man, that's LeBron, man. Hey, some guys have the luxury to do that type of thing. You know, LeBron been in the league going on 22 years. You know what I mean? So I mean, hey, he can do that. It's
Be the
Brian.
OG. He can do what he
it.
wants. That's
But
for sure.
that's another thing too. Like like a solution to that. Like I feel like players should take a physical the week ahead going into the All Star break. Like LeBron,
Yeah,
okay,
to
he
prevent
would.
that.
Yeah, he would have got the results back pretty soon. That hey man, you're not gonna be able to play. You got a groin injury. Same thing with Ant. You know, Giannis. My point is, you
Giannis.
can have guys on standby to replace those
Yeah.
guys. You know, guys like a lot of people saying LaMelo was deserved to be an All Star. I'm not knocking that. This is his opportunity to do it. You
Yeah.
seen Trae Young replace Giannis, so have guys on standby. You know, ready to replace guys in case they're not ready to play. So
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think that should be a stipulation going into that weekend because, like,
everybody take a physical.
not only is it like the entertainment value for us, it's also like a weekend for those guys to go out, get first time experiences for some
Yeah,
of them, and to have a guy that's not even going to play in the weekend taking a spot. It's just it's a little
right.
off, it's a little
Yeah, for sure.
selfish. a
Yeah.
little selfish,
Because my
but
point is, like somebody like with LeBron, like bro, you don't have to be on it. You can literally go to the bench. You can go anywhere you want to. You don't have to be on the team. You
yeah.
can get in a picture. You can do anything, bro. You're LeBron. Like your name speaks
Like,
for itself.
yeah, it just got me, like him in like what, the sweatsuit or some shit, like with the full team photo, everybody else in uniform, like, and he just like
Yeah.
in the middle too, like in the middle of
That's,
the picture, like just so LeBron, bro.
yeah, that's LeBron, right? Hey, but hold
That
on.
is
Hey,
LeBron.
hold on.
Like,
Actually, Scott, you should be careful, bro, because you know where you and LeBron fans stand at. You know, so, you should be very careful, bro, for real.
what makes you say that, bro? What makes you say that?
I seen you get into it with a LeBron fan on Twitter. I'm sure a nice amount of times for sure. Yeah.
I do. I be going at LeBron on Twitter for
Yeah,
sure.
you need to chill
I'm
out,
a
man.
Bron hater. I'm a
Yeah,
Bron
you gotta
hater.
chill out, man. Chill out.
I always have been, bro. Like I think it's like partly like the underdog type of thing. Like I just always liked the underdog in a sense. But then
Makes sense.
I don't know, when the Warriors came around though, like I rooted for the Warriors, not the Cavs.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I always fucked with Steph and Clay more than Bron, but I don't know. You got to respect him though. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I always give him his props. I mean, to be at his age doing what he doing, I mean, it's just we never seen this before. So
Yeah, facts. So what do you got your eyes on like the rest of this season, man? Because with the All-Star break comes after the All-Star break, it's when teams really start to lock in on playoff positioning, figuring out what the rest of this season's really going to look like. So any teams you're keeping an eye on, any situations you're keeping an eye on?
well, for sure a team, and for sure a situation. A report came out today from an NBA executive to watch out for the Memphis Grizzlies. If they get put out in the first round, they may look to trade Ja Morant. I seen that. That's very interesting to me. The reason I say that is because this Luka and AD trade told everybody in the world that nobody is untouchable.
Yeah.
The right pieces or whatever, you can get going.
They want Embiid down there in Memphis. We'll take the Maxey and Ja backcourt.
That's interesting, but that's the situation I keep my eyes on. I don't know how Joel will do in Memphis.
It don't seem like a good fit, if I'm being honest. No.
Yeah, no. But a team for sure. My Warriors. I mean, Draymond just said Sunday. I don't know if you seen it. He said we're going to win the championship. Let's see if
I did not see that. I did
let's
not see
see if
that.
Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler can cash his big ass check that Draymond just wrote. He told the whole wide world. Now you got Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharp, all these guys discussing it. Gil's Arena, everybody's discussing his comments or whatever. Me personally, as a fan, I love it. Because if you don't believe, who else going to believe it?
Yeah,
And
I
this
feel
probably
that.
be the type of statement the guys on our team needs to hear. One of our
Yeah.
leaders said this. When your leader say stuff like this, it typically rally the troops. And we'll see how guys respond. Second half of the season. But nonetheless, I love it. I love that he got that confidence for us because I definitely didn't have it. So for him to say that, I can respect that.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the squad. I see Jimmy Butler. He's played what, 4 games for y'all so far, 21 points, seven rebounds, 5 assists so far for the squad. So he's obviously fitting in pretty well with the Warriors. The
Jimmy
reason I
Butler,
laughed, I just need Paul George to come out and say the Sixers are making the postseason. Like, I need that.
but you
Like
want to know
Paul
something,
George
man?
confidence coming off the vacay, fresh off the the drinks with the pinky out. Got his face in
Cancun, baby, Cancun.
got his face in some some chest face
$50
going
million
on.
a year. $50
Can I
million.
get a playoff guarantee? PG podcast P.
Podcast P, baby.
Can I get that confidence out of my squad? I would love
we out
that.
here,
Like you
we out here
said.
in Cancun, man. We ain't worried about no playoffs, man. I'm getting paid $50 million. We ain't worried about no playoffs.
How
Um,
are you liking the Jimmy Butler fit though, from what you've seen so far? On all seriousness.
um, like the perfect description for this is like opposites do attract. Like you talk about the way Steph played and the way Jimmy played,
Yeah,
completely opposite. But
yeah,
yet it works. Jimmy can get to the free throw line. Like he does not shoot anything outside the perimeter. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, he doesn't really shoot a lot of threes. Mid range, get to the free throw line, layup, dunk, post. That's Jimmy game. Whereas to Steph, Steph shooting threes. He's shooting it. But it has worked for sure, man. Probably better than I could have envisioned it. But yeah, opposites attract for sure. And in this case, Jimmy and Steph, they feed off each other pretty well.
that's a good way to put it, man. They complement each other pretty well with their play style from the sound of it. The only thing that sticks out to me that seems to be in the way is just the Western Conference. Like it's just it. I feel like there's a lot of teams that could feel the way that y'all feel right now. It's like far as like putting your best foot forward after the All-Star break. If you're the Houston Rockets, that's your chance to like regroup as a young unit, get refocused for the second half of the year. You mentioned the Memphis Grizzlies. They got some pressure coming with their core group there as well. You got the teams like the Clippers mixed in there, the Kings, right, that have had completely reshaped their roster. Then you got the Lakers mixed in there, right? LeBron and Luka. What does that really look like over a long stretch of time? Who else am I missing? The T
The Mavericks, the
the
T-Wolves.
Mavericks. So there's some teams just jumbled there in the West, like 2 through
Welcome to the Wild West.
2 through 10, right? 2 through 11, even
Still
if you
got
want to
Denver.
throw the War or the Spurs in there, right? So
They got Denver.
yeah, Denver. I didn't even like mention them. So a bunch of teams in the mix. Obviously, Golden State, if they can put their best foot forward with Jimmy Butler,
I feel like,
they have a
man,
chance.
I like our chance against those top 3 teams. I really do, if I'm being honest. Give me OKC, Houston, or Memphis in a 7-game series.
Do you think you'll get out of the play-in? Like, not get out of the play-in, but like get out of the play-in seeding-wise before the end of the season.
It's a pathway for us. We have the 7 easiest schedule after the All-Star break, so I can see us making the most of it. Guys are locked in, so yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
Because like Sacramento, I could see you guys getting ahead of them. maybe
Dallas. Keep in
maybe the
mind,
Clippers
Dallas.
take a step back.
Dallas, AD, Gafford. They have no bigs.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
they're going to be out for an extended period. So keep that in mind.
Minnesota's been sketchy. So yeah, there's an opportunity there, man. The other teams that I'm looking at kind of over on the Eastern Conference, Detroit, obviously, I think they're just a great feel-good story for this season. They're playing good basketball. They're semi-young. They got a nice mixture of like veterans and young players. And just for them to play, yeah, shout out Tobias out there leading the playoff team. They're not in the play-in, by the way. They're the 6th seed in the East right now. They're actually ahead of the Orlando Magic, who I also have my eyes on them as well. You have Paolo, you have Franz returning from injury close to the All-Star break. They should be good to go after the All-Star break. Paolo, that's somebody we completely forgot when talking about USA and all the All-Star. Yeah, and Franz on the other side. He's on that international squad. So Franz is another guy there as well.
Yeah, true that.
But yeah, Orlando's a team that I'm keeping an eye on in the Eastern Conference. And then of course the Sixers, man. Like, can you have some dignity and make the play-in?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't know if I even hit you up that night. When y'all lost to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did.
Hey. Y'all lost to a team that's literally trying to lose. What is going on here?
Yeah,
like,
it just speaks to everything that's wrong with this organization. But
it's
you bring in Lonnie Walker. He's obviously got
shout out Lonnie.
Experience. He's from the area, so maybe he plays some inspired ball for us. Picked up Quentin Grimes. He's played very well since he came over. He hasn't been the problem. Paul George, man, Podcast P. Pinky's out. Oh my God.
Pinky,
Let's
man.
get out of here, Slim, before my wife kills me. Anything else before we get out of here, bro? Before I let you go for the night.
That's it, bro, man. Shout out Leonard Walker, bro. Hey, shout out Leonard, man. Glad to have him back in the league. It's crazy that
he deserves a spot on all real shit. Yeah,
like it's
good enough to play.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but I don't want to get you in trouble. But
we'll address it on the next show. Maybe he'll have played and we can talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Leonard. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
That's gonna be it for this episode of NBA to the Galaxy Pod. Appreciate you all for tapping in. D-Rab, appreciate you in the comments, my man. We will see you on the next episode. Be sure to turn the notifications on the YouTube channel so you're notified each and every time we go live, each and every time we put content out. That's going to be it for this episode. Be sure to follow Slim at RTR30111. You can find myself at Scotty Drown. Peace, everybody. Good night.
Peace.